Well, greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining us live today. In this circle of prayer and wisdom is really designed to help all of us as a community navigate what is a very dark and difficult time for so many right now. There's a way in which so many of the paradigms and ways of being that we feel like it's time to outgrow are getting exaggerated into the form of cruelty and polarization and real shadowy material coming to the surface. And the way that I understand this is that it is sort of an outworking of the patterns that we no longer want to carry forward. And it's creating a lot of challenge and suffering and fear for people. And so in tuning in about this, we really said, what can we do for people in our network to offer sanctuary, solace, support, and also contribute our best to the larger whole? And some of that begins in each of our hearts. And so thank you for coming today, because we're going to have a chance to dive into some deeper Indigenous wisdom and prayers about navigating this moment. We've had a little bit of a change of pace because grandmother Flordemayo is still recovering from COVID. She's still testing positive. She's okay, but her husband also had it. So we are shifted the guests here to it. The spirit is the same, and you're going to get a real treat to get to meet grandmother Isla, who I'll just introduce in a moment, as well as grandmother Heather. I still acclimating to call her grandmother Heather, but she is a grandmother. She's the daughter of grandmother Flordemayo, and so she's now very much carrying on her work. And both of them are going to be part of this beautiful grandmother's prayer circle that we're going to be beginning formally next week. And so today is sort of an opportunity to see how this can sustain and support you and bless you in this time of what collective darkness for many, and it varies with different countries, obviously, but particularly in America, we feel it very palpably right now. So I'm going to introduce both of them. So grandmother Heather Hall-Dudney Stone has worked really so long with not only her own mother, grandmother Flordemayo, but she's been a kind of a support for Indigenous grandmothers from around the world to come together to offer their healing and their blessing, and herself stepping in to being a prayer carrier and woman of wisdom who is really carrying on these lineages. So Heather, thank you so much for joining here today.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you to the Shift Network. And on behalf of my mom, we're just so grateful for this opportunity and kind of bringing this vision alive that my mom had. So thank you so much.
Yeah. And then we're also here with grandmother Isla, and she is Isla Paul, and she is a descendant of Maori heritage, the indigenous culture of Aotearoa, which is New Zealand. She is richly blessed with the heritage of two strong iwi tribes and is a grandmother of five Mokopuno grandchildren. And we got to travel with her to Peru, and she is just a fountain of delight and magic and fun and wisdom. And she also has roots not just in the indigenous tradition, but also Sufi tradition. So it's really a unique blessing to have her here today. So grandmother Isla, thank you so much for joining us. And she got up at 3 a.m. in New Zealand to be with us all. So we wanted to start grandmother Isla with a song blessing first.
Kia ora, Stephen, thank you. Heather, thank you. And to everybody here. I'll begin this waiata karakia from Aotearoa, New Zealand, saying it's with love. Love is for every being on the planet. Love, whakaponoa, is truth and faith. Rangi Mārie, may there be widespread calm and peace. Tātou tātou e is saying for each and every one of us on the planet. So, te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi Mārie,
Beautiful medicine. Thank you. Heather, let's bring you forward. And I know you have some you want to share as well as a message from Flordemayo as well.
Yes, thank you. So this message is for my mom. We were talking this morning. She's still feeling a little bit under the weather with a little fever, but the message today or in the prayer that she wrote is today, let us remember, my beloved ones, we were never meant to walk this path alone. From the beginning of time, our people gathered in sacred circles to share wisdom, to pray, to remember. When we sit in circle, we return to the ancient ways, where every voice matters, where every heart is honored. It's in the circle that spirit speaks, that healing flows, and the teachings of our ancestors are carried forward. Let us listen to the elders. Let us honor the wisdom keepers. Let us protect the seeds of tradition for those yet to come. Today, I call to gather with love, light, humility, and purpose. The earth is listening, the spirits are watching. May we walk together, guided by the love and light of our ancestors and the fire within our hearts. With love and light, Grandmother Flordemayo.
Mm.
And she also wanted me to share the day on the Mayan calendar, which always seems auspicious. So today is 11 Ish on the Mayan calendar. It is all about the Nawal of the mountains, the jungles, Mother Earth. It can be represented by the jaguar. It's the divine feminine. And the word Ish actually originates from the ancient Maya language, meaning jaguar or woman, and it is the sacredness of Mother Earth. And it's remembering that we are all related and that we're all sharing the same air, the earth. And part of the inspiration behind this is just a hopeful message to gather in circle and be kinder humans and, kind of walk with that love and light and prayers. And today is all about that. It's about listening to those divine messages in nature. It is walking gracefully with love and light, but also remaining grounded. And it's also honoring the relations of our mothers, our daughters, sisters, wives, and friends, anyone that has that reflection of the divine feminine. So it's a beautiful day to gather with Grandmother Ayla, one of my favorite grandmother sisters and somebody I call upon. She's like another mom to me. So I'm so blessed. And it's a beautiful day that we're meeting to honor on this day, 11 Ish. So thank you, Stephen.
Mm. I want to just invite you before we go to Grandmother Ayla, again, is to share a little bit about this work of unifying the different Indigenous grandmother lineages around the world. And you've been doing this for quite some time. And I see one of the things that I've been really touched by is that it's based in prophecy too, that there's a sense of like this coming together of the different Indigenous lineages precedes the coming together of humanity in a certain way. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about what you've seen in terms of why that is, how the wisdom from different Indigenous lineages can also sustain us and help us in this larger birthing that's underway. Heather, I was asking you, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm sorry. I was wondering if Ayla was going to mention it. Well, one of the things that my mom has really come to see is that it is in prophecy. And many years ago, while she was at the Parliament of World Religion, she was given a vision about seeing people gathering in circle in a time of kind of chaos and darkness, and how together that love and light would kind of like ripple out and provide the peace and the prayer that we all needed. And as my mom's been traveling with the 13 grandmothers and the grandmothers of the Sacred We, which was where we had the privilege of meeting Ayla and Taiha and Grandmother Mary Lyons and Grandmother Davy Tide, it is to show up in circle, whether it's in virtual events or in person, to provide this hope and remind people of the Indigenous wisdom and kind of taking us back. I feel like we get caught in our, in our heads a little bit, and bringing us back to the sacredness of living in harmony with the earth. And just, reflecting on prayer, reflecting on what we can do. And that was a message that my mom really felt called, for basically her legacy, is traveling around and spreading these messages of love and light, and that we all have, that piece of the puzzle, each of us that we're holding. And together, for humanity, we all need to gather in circle and
Hmm.
join. So it's a really an important message that my mom, every time that I, speak to her, that's her message.
Beautiful. Grandmother Ayla, it's back to you. And I'd love, as we go a little deeper into this call, before we go into sort of a collective prayer, I'd love for you to share a little bit more from your tradition. I know you also have a little bit of show and tell, and share a little bit about your perspective on this moment we're traversing.
Kia ora. Thank you. Can I introduce myself
Yes,
formally?
yes.
Ko tainui te waka, ko maunga tari te maunga, ko waihau, waikato nā awa, ko te kaukauro pātatere ahau, ko erua nā marae, ko tūkorehe, manawanui nā marae, ko raukawa te hapu, iwi, ko tūkorehe te hapu, ko Ayla tōku ingoa. So formally introducing myself through nature. Tainui is our waka, the waka that brought the majority of my lineage. Rivers, Waikato, Waihau, and South Waikato. Raukawa is the tribal area, and Tūkorehe, one of the hapu that I affiliate with, or my lineage has brought me to. Why do we introduce ourselves in this manner? Is because the land has shapeshifted us. We've arrived through those channels from the star systems, through nature. And so nature be our guide. This is what I've been taught by my ancestry. Let nature be also our answer to some of the prayers that we're calling upon, particularly at this time in humanity. It is a great privilege to have met with many of the elders that have shapeshifted my, we call a huarahi, the road that I follow, or the path that I follow. Mainly three grandmothers of mine, Nanny Grace, Nanny Wiki, and Nanny Chris. Very, very gently and very loving, they guided me, and mainly pointing toward not just prayer, but for sound and music, because in there and also through nature is a healing for all of us, and it's very free. When we go back to our mountains and to our rivers, we're given sustenance to continue on the paths that we have chosen way before we arrived here in this form we call humanity. And it's a real privilege to meet people further along as I got older and started to travel a little bit, to meet a grandmother Flordemayo, a huge heart and such a strong attunement to the God force, Creator, Father, Mother God. So thank you for letting me come among you in this form, in this way, and particularly today, in the day of Ishq, because I've sat with Grandmother Flordemayo on the 40 acres that they have, and that I love being in their presence and their family. She did the Mayan calendar for myself, and I was born on the day of Ishq. So it's very, very heartening for me to be here today with you all on this day.
Happy Mayan birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Do you had a shawl that you were going to share? Oh, did you also want to share a little bit about that?
It's here in Aotearoa, if we've been very lucky enough to be gifted a korowai. This one here, I'll bring it up for you all to see, is very similar to the colors that I'm wearing. Now, this garment here came from Chile. That's where I met Stephen and traveled with Grandmother Taiha and Heather. And then I came home after the journey from Peru to have a good closer look at my korowai and thought, oh my goodness, we're not that far apart. Maybe on global terms we are, but in the heart, we're very similar. So from those travels, I also bought this beautiful, we call it a potai, a hat. Well, this morning, it's so cold here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, I actually had to put it on because it's so cold here. So I'm happy. I'm very happy. But this particular korowai was a vision that my niece had when we sat together in a place called Otaki. So my tribal area is from the middle of the North Island in a place called Okoroire, Tāpapa. But also our same tribe goes all the way down to Otaki, which is at the bottom of the North Island. So my niece, who's very visionary and also follows this Sufi tradition like myself, and I know Grandmother Flordemayo, that's what we have in common. I can come back to that later, but on this vision that she had was the travels of our tribe from the middle of the North Island all the way down to Otaki. So there's 3 different maunga, 3 different mountain ranges that we went through, and how we have been flavored by each river, by each mountain, how we've been graced as a family, but in particular, and my niece, Rere Omaki, said, these are representatives of also the Sufi path and what that means to us. The colors red and gold and green depict the wings of the whānau's heart and forever soaring upwards. So in her vision, she was guided to remind us that in the wings that we bring our hearts together. Each and every one of us are coming from different parts of the globe. And we all have these special birds that we are guided by, and maybe even some of the smaller birds that call to us in times of need. When I have been in the States with you all, you talk about those great falcons, and I'm just in awe that we all share. We all share the same heart. We all have a heart, those of us breathing in and out. We collectively have a part to play. Every one of us is important. And without one of us, the tapestry of these designs, the thread would pull apart and the garment wouldn't show the pure design that we've been created from. It's a reflection everywhere we look. There's There's a prayer reflecting back to us in every situation, particularly when it's dire. And right now, we all can feel that, oh my goodness, the waves are getting a little bit more busier and turbulent. It's calling on our strength. I can hear our ancestors saying to us right now, kia kaha, kia kaha. Pull in the strength from your innermost self, because now we're asking you to pray. Now we're asking you to gather, because collectively we're a force. We're a force to reckon with. Imagine, just for a minute, let's just take a minute and close your eyes. Just for a moment. And on the left hand, feel your left hand side of yourself. Just imagine the lineage of ancestry from your male side. And then think of the right-hand side of your body and the ancestry of the female side of yourself. And with your hands and your arms, it's like spreading your wings out. Just for a moment, the heart beating in between these hands and the army of ancestors that brought us to where we are right now, this moment, this breath. Imagine the celebration from the heavenly realms, let alone from this beautiful Papatūnuku Earth Mother, Sky Father Ranginui, and this love affair they have between the two of them. And here we are collectively in this love affair. And bringing your selves back into your heart gently, just gently. And let some of the worries and concerns, grief and fear just fall away for a moment, just for a moment. And breathe in some fresh, golden, bright light from the sun. Your sun. You can take ownership of it, or let it just bathe if you feel you're unworthy of all that love. And you begin to open your eyes again. How magnificent we all are. How magnificent we all are. Mighty indeed.
Wow. Thank you for all those many pearls of wisdom you just shared. I really resonate with the reconnecting with the earth and as a way to also cultivate that resilience and strength, and to really sort of be that kind of strong oasis as things, so much of the waves are happening. And I thought it was interesting when you mentioned that sort of the song as a more, even more powerful way of prayer together too. And I'm wondering if you would lead another song perhaps that we can all kind of join in this meditative field together and send blessing to ourselves and out to the world through the prayer song that you offer.
Thank you. Well, we'll go back to the first one to begin with, because everything is about love, even though it looks like it's dire. The things that are dire is because of someone's love of power or someone's love of dominance. That's why it's a love, but it's gone completely, um, I'm going to say wacko, but it is really. It's a love of something that's not going to help other people, but love in its purest form is unity. So love, te aroha, te aro, with your heart, you know, like with your heart, your breath, te aroha. It's a beautiful expression of love. You hear it in Hawaii, aloha. Te whakapono. At its base, it's having faith that there is a goodness in everything that was created, everything. Whakapono, that there is faith, or if we have more faith, we begin to see the beauty and grandeur. Te rangi mari e, te rangi mari. With these two components activating at a very high frequency brings about a calm and a peace, a deep peace. Te rangi mari. Tātou, tātou e. Each and every one of us. The sun will shine on the good, bad, and the ugly. Undeserving and deserving. The sun will shine on us all. And the earth sustains us all, no matter what we're playing out in our lifetime. But she sustains us, great, great, great grandmother Earth. Papa Tuanuku. So in this song, if you want to join, and some of you know this song, Te aroha, te whakapono, te rangi mari e, tātou, tātou e, te aroha, te whakapono, me te rangi mari e, tātou, tātou e.
So beautiful. Oh, touches me, tears in my eyes. You sing so straight from your heart and soul, Grandmother Ayla. Heather, I want to bring you back on and see what's moving through you in terms of prayer. Like, I wonder if you can offer a collective prayer and guide us in that collectively and just, yeah.
I want to thank Ayla, and that song always touches me so much. And, you know, one of the things I want to give gratitude for is, you know, the wisdom of my mother and the grandmothers and the connection to the earth. And I think it is about celebrating the four sacred elements and remembering that we are all here of divine purpose on our own sacred path. And one of the things that's helped me, you know, in talking to my mom and kind of get grounded, despite, you know, any adversity or what's going on in the world, is believing in the power of prayer. It's believing that we all can, shift what's going on just by our own wisdom, um, and really listening to what the elders have to share with us. I think it is that simple. It's about prayer, it's about our connection to the earth, it's about walking in alignment and loving those, even those that we don't necessarily agree with. Um, that we are all truly blessed to be here on earth at this moment all together. And, I think it is that the universe and what's happening, um, there's a bigger lesson or a bigger message. And that's what gives me faith. And every morning I wake up, the first person I speak to is my mom. She's my best friend. Uh, and I just love all the wisdom that she has to share. And I really, truly believe in this message that she had about gathering in circle, about sharing the wisdom of our elders. And, when I knew my mom wasn't feeling well, I called up, Ayla and Teha, and I just asked them to help me. And I just want to give gratitude for them and for each of you that are just joining us. Because I think true healing really is about opening ourselves to the universe and to feeling and to moving through adversity. And together as a collective, I really believe that at the end of this, we're going to be stronger for it. So I just want to say thank you.
Hmm. Well, I'm feeling called if there are people on the line who would like to offer a particular prayer, I would invite you to be succinct and just offer that prayer so we kind of create more of a feeling of a collective prayer circle now. So if you would like to offer something, that could be a song format too, as Grandmother Ayla did, that wants to be for the benefit of this circle for this and the larger whole, just hit react, and then there's a little thing that says raise hand at the bottom of your screen. And if you do react and raise hand, we can give the microphone, and just, yeah, so try to keep it not of a talking space, but more of just like a sincere, succinct prayer offering, and then we can move the microphone to someone new. So, Kimberly?
Thank you. So I wanted to offer a Seneca prayer. It's simple. Sacred Corn Mother, come to me. Make my way sacred, fill me with beauty. Sacred Corn Mother, come to me. Make my way sacred, fill me with beauty. Fill me with beauty. Fill me with beauty. Fill me with beauty, that I may bring others beauty.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank
Janice,
you.
you're next.
It was absolutely beautiful. But I just wanted to say a quick healing love energy to Flordemayo for her quick recovery.
Hmm.
And also hi to Esperanza and love. That's it. Thank you, Heather. Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes. Dawn.
Thank you. I wanted to offer some Latin words and what they mean. Non nobis solum sed toti mundo nati. Not for ourselves, but for the whole world were we born.
Hmm.
And I'll say it 2 more times. Not for ourselves, but for the whole world were we born.
Hmm.
Not for ourselves, but for the whole world were we born.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. G, wherever we
Wherever
are, it's
we
our
are,
friend.
it's our friends who make our world. May we pour this cup from this tea. May it nourish all of us in the deepest way.
Thank you, G. Anyone else want to present something to the wider circle? Deborah?
This is a Sufi healing prayer. Beloved Lord, Almighty God, beloved Mother, holy ones, through the rays of the sun, through the waves of the air, through thy all-pervading life in space, purify and revivify us, and we pray, heal our bodies, hearts, and souls. Amen.
Thank you. Let's do one more. Maura or Mora?
Hi there.
Aloha and Arion J. Goodwin. And we come to celebrate also the oceans and the whale's wisdom. And the whales, the mother whale, she comes to us and she says, O human man and woman who's spun upon the land, your world rises from dark chasms far below these sands. We greet you with our songs, having lived alone among you in the waters of our years. Hear the voice, our shrill and call. We are your elders from the deeps. So listen with your hearts as we, and you will feel our visions, great and small. For I am the mother of a whale. The whole world loves a mother. Please, I beg of you as a lover to cease from killing one another. For, oh, human man and woman, a baby whale is just as precious to a father as a human child is. Though I am a simple being, and many, many people could swim inside of me. Do you think even all your hearts together would equal one dear loving son or your daughters? For we are your elders from the deeps. I am the mother of a whale. Reflections, they change their shadows every instant. Remember me with all the others, and be a whale and a mom. Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you. I just felt this palpable sense of this unifying energy around the world coming as we bring different voices on. Anything you want to share about that?
Yes, please. I wanted to respond back to that beautiful prayer from the Sufi tradition, but also from all the prayers that was said. Thank you from Hawaii also. But to the Sufi prayer. Ya salam, ya wabu, ya shakur, ya aziz, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, ya Alim, ya Ahad, ya Alim, ya Ahad. Beloved Lord, Almighty God, through the rays of the sun, through the waves of the air, through your all-pervading life and space, purify and revivify us, and we pray, heal our bodies, hearts and souls. E te ariki ata whai o te atua kārawa e, mā ngā hihi o te rā, mā ngā hihi o te rangi, mā te mauri o rangi Aotea mātou. Whakapure e whakahau, whakaorongi o mātou tinana, o mātou wairua, o mātou whatu manua. Āmene.
So beautiful. I'm just smiling, thinking about there's always more magic available when you just surrender to Spirit's plan, particularly with the Indigenous grandmothers. I've had that experience so many times over the years from the first event that it's just, I never really exactly know where things are going to go. And today has been such a blessing already. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about how our vision for going forward now. When I reached out around this time and recognizing through many different shift faculty that we were going to be going through a difficult initiation, difficult initiatory cycle, that we really wanted to offer more sustenance to people, more of this kind of a spirit of a co-created healing container. And so Heather and Flordemayo and many of their allies, including grandmother Ayla, were a big yes to creating a special 6-month Indigenous prayer circle that's going to be the grandmother, led by the grandmothers, but also co-created. And I think we have a few grandfathers and some others who maybe not grandfathers or grandmothers yet that are going to participate as well. But part of it is really creating this tapestry of a healing tapestry where these voices come together on a weekly basis to bless us, support us, sustain us, so that we can each be bright lights in this time. So this is going to start next week officially. This is sort of a little bit of a sneak preview of what we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. Grandmother Heather is going to be sort of weaving the many voices together, making the invitations. It's also going to be a gathering that, a very important gathering in the fall that is going to be at the end of this, that if you're called to, you can go to. This is created by Grandmother Heather and Flordemayo in New Mexico. But this first cycle for the next 6 months is called, you can find it at Grandmother's Prayer Circle, no apostrophe. And it's basically a chance to come together in this kind of a format where there's prayers, blessings, and wisdoms from many different elders, and that we have an opportunity to also join in community, bring community voices, and have time to connect with each other afterwards, as well as in a special online circle to really have this sense of buoying each other up, to support each other with this blessing power, just as we've really seen and felt today. So it's going to be a more spontaneous format. It's not like a curriculum teaching. It's like, okay, here's exactly the bullet points of what you're going to get. It's more like surrendering to the mystery and seeing who's coming. You know, this week it happened to be Florida was not available. Grandmother Ayla, what a blessing to have you sort of have more of your medicine to bring with us. So it'll be a 6-month journey, and it's called Grandmother's Prayer Circle, Indigenous Wisdom for Navigating a Time of Darkness. It's going to run, the weekly sessions are going to be right at this time, Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific for 30 minutes, and that may extend as well, and we'll have the option for breakout groups up to 60 minutes after. So we wanted to make this kind of an accessible level. So it's $97 a month for 6 months or $497. But we also want to make that we do have partial scholarships if that's a barrier, and full scholarships for any Indigenous participants. So if you have Indigenous ancestry and you want to participate, then you're fully, just let our customer support team know, and you can be added for free. So again, it's at grandmothersprayercircle.com. And Heather, I just wanted to invite you to share a little bit about, since you're going to be helping to weave this vision together, share about some of the magic that you're going to be bringing forward with this.
Well, everyone that we invited is deeply special to my mom and myself. So we called upon all her friends, and each of them has something special to offer. Like next week, we're going to have grandmother Taiha, who is Ayla's best friend who joined us in Peru. We have a dear friend, Kumu Sabra, who's also a dear friend of Ayla's. It's funny how we're all kind of connected and met each other. So we reached out to numerous elders from around the world, men and women, to come offer what they're seeing, you know, whether it's sharing prophecies, whether it's sharing prayers about what we're going through in this time. And hopefully it nourishes our souls. It helps us walk in the light and just gives us a little hope. I know that it's been challenging for many people, even myself, and I felt so inspired by all the prayers, all the songs, and grandmother Ayla. I wish she was right next to me so I could hug her. It just gives you this inspiration of hope. And, I think we are resilient. And I think in circumstances where we are challenged, we rise, and we're stronger together. So it's wonderful that Ayla shared her beautiful cloak. I kind of see it like a cloak that's going to cover all of us over the next 6 months and help the world with some peace and some prayers, and maybe just being a little kinder and gentler to the earth and to each other.
Mm, beautiful. Do you want to give a bit more on some of the other people that you've invited, since there's so many wonderful wisdom carriers?
Well, we have a few shift faculty coming that we just love. Heather Ashamara, who I just love. She's actually over there in New Mexico. I love the messages. I love what she does with her warrior goddess. Again, Kumu Sabra, who is a Hawaiian elder. What she does for the Hawaiian community, the preservation of their languages. Grandmother Taiha, also Ayla's best friend, her younger sister Hato, as well. My mom, we have asked a woman named Rainey. She is about reformatting, and she's Apache, and she is in New Mexico, and how we can use peace for healing. And she is all about this beautiful peace movement over there in New Mexico. Um, we have a dear friend, Mitchell, who is a clairvoyant medium, who will be joining us as well and seeing what messages he's been getting. We have Luisha Tish, grandmother Jyoti Ma joining us. Trying to think, there's a long list. I think we've got 24 people set up. So forgive me if I forgot some. So
That's
we have,
amazing. I didn't
yeah,
even
we
know
had
there were
more
24.
people. We had more people join than we have space for. So it's going to be incredibly beautiful. Oh, Magali, who is joining us in November, Shauna Blue Star Newcomb, and her dad Stephen Newcomb, who have a lot to do with the domination code, and they actually are working actively, going to with the Poppleville. So that's beautiful. Grandmother Davy Tide, our Sufi grandmother. So and Puma. So thank you. It's going to
Wow.
be beautiful.
It's what an incredible family. It is like a big global family that's been created around this work. And so thank you so much for Heather for all your work of weaving it all together. And Heather, if you don't know, it's like a lot of the Indigenous grandmothers aren't necessarily the most technical. She helps to kind of make sure everything happens behind the scenes and people get online and know how to sort of show up in this kind of a format and really offer this kind of a beautiful wisdom circle format for that's accessible no matter where you are in the world, which has been such a blessing for me personally, and I know for so many others. And I can see lots of comments in the chat about Silvana says, "This time has lifted my spirit. Thank you for this dose of hope. Thank you for the circle, deep healing and sharing." There's something about this. It's just really good medicine when the news cycles are rough and dark and difficult and combative, and it's just like to have this a little oasis of upliftment and magic. So beautiful. Grandmother Ayla, do you want to sort of like close us out with another offering or blessing or song?
Thank you. Love to everybody on this call. Deep, deep love. Aio kia rangi, aio kia papa, aio kia tātou katoa. Ka rere te mauri, ka rongo te mauri, ka oho te mauri o rangi a te ae. Be at peace. Be at peace with yourself. Be at peace for the ones closest to you. And look out and send peace far and wide. Amen.
Amen. Well, what a blessing, Heather and grandmother It's been such a blessing to have you too. And the voices that each of you that came on the call with your own voices and songs, so exquisite. And I think there's a real magic in that and the spontaneous power of us uniting in this way. And those who didn't share your voices, your presence also contributed to this field of love that we've created together and made all those ripples go out around the world, and that we're each helping to harmonize and uplift humanity. So thank you. And if you'd like to join this weekly circle that we're creating, you're warmly welcome. And again, it's all at Grandmother's Prayer Circle. And yeah, we want to make this a time of upliftment and healing. And somebody commented that seeing this as a time of enlightenment. It's both. There's a lot of things that are challenging, and there's a lot of opportunity to blossom into more light, more love on the planet. So it's both a time of a darker initiation as well as a time of birthing. And we want to sort of be a field of support for that to happen in the most harmonious and uplifting way possible. So thank you. Thank you all for joining, and many blessings.
Thank you.